tonight is Thursday the 27th. Our assignment for tonight is assignment F as in phase, F-A-Z-E, or P-H-A-S-E. And phasing, I was just mentioning earlier that to think of a phased project, you don't have to have a project where you say, okay, we're adding this in phase 1 and that in phase 2. It's going to apply to any project where you have an existing building that you're adding onto or renovating or modifying in any way. You're going to have existing phase and you'll have a new phase. And then the way I'm going to do it in this assignment is show you a method that's a little bit out of the standard Revit approach where you insert a demo phase in between. And I'll talk about why we do that. I want to go over real quickly on the handout for assignment F since it's not been updated to 2012 standards. And most of it has been updated to 2010 version of Revit, but there's one screenshot on page 1 here on step 1 where it says settings phases. I'll show you that to get there now you go to manage, the manage tab of the ribbon, and then you'll see phasing over here to the right. And you know you're in the right panel when you see the sledgehammer because that's what we use to demolish things. That's one of the more fun tools in Revit. And then phases is right above it. So if you want to make note of this in your handout, that this dialog box right here really should be replaced by manage and this little phases button. And if I was to try to stretch my interface a little bit wider, normally it's going to show phases with the word next to it, but because of the resolution of this projector here in the lab, there's not room for me to have the full-size Revit interface. And so Revit will just automatically kind of start collapsing buttons so you can see them, but you don't have the labels next to them. Okay, so let's see what else in the handout might need updating. This part is all the same. The demolish hammer looks different, so on step 5 of page 1 here, you won't find it. The demolish hammer button is now in, again, the manage tab, phasing, and it looks like that kind of a sledgehammer. So it looks more realistic, and the one in the handout was back in 2009 or 10, and it was a little different button. Let's see if anything else here looks different.
Hey,
Yeah.
assignment handout is creating exterior stairs.
Where are you seeing that?
Oh, go down the page.
Go down a page.
Yeah, 2 pages. Right there.
Yeah, there's a page where I go over that. No. The very first of it, we start by doing that, yeah. So it is a little confusing. I should put a heading above that that says assignment F phasing. But if you look at the title block here, it says handout page 1 exterior stair. But it says here assignment F handout exterior stair. And then the next page, the next sheet is assignment F handout demolition plan down here. So it's a little confusing. So let's see, I got down to page 2. The demolish hammer is on page 2, step 5. The right here, where I point to the split button, that's an old screenshot, so that should actually be in the modify tab. Split is this little nondescript looking button now, and I really liked it better back then. It looked like a little, well, it looked similar, but it had the word split next to it. I think the word helps because it's kind of hard to tell. The rest of this is hasn't changed. May look a little bit different, but the thing, okay, here. In the create new floor here, or roof, this is the new roof on page, whatever page that is of the, page 4, towards the bottom, step 5. I show the pick walls button from an old screenshot. So to go into the roof command, if you remember from assignment C, you're gonna come into the home button and you're gonna hit roof here, which is roof by footprint. And then the pick walls button is going to be on this draw panel right here. So it looks a little different. So that's the end of the formalities of correcting my old handout here. So let's go ahead and go back. The one thing I want to do here is add, there's this window on the second floor, and because those windows were optional as part of assignment D, I didn't go through that part, but I'm going to go ahead and place that window on the second floor so that when we demolish a chunk of that wall, we can see that window, because it isn't absolutely necessary, but it's nice to kind of see that. So I'm going to pull up level 2 existing. I don't have any windows in there. Let me go back to the handout from, I'm going to pull up the class again, from assignment D, and the second floor windows were on page 4, and I have double hung single header masonry, sill masonry 1x1. It's a 36 by 62.5 masonry opening, head height 6'9.5". So I want to place this window. I'm going to go down to the browser, because a lot of times that's the easiest way to find it and place it, rather than starting the window command first. And the family name was window double hung single, and then it has a header of masonry, a sill of brick, and a 1x1, which that 1x1 is my way of saying that it doesn't have a mutton pattern in it, so it's one pane, 1 wide by 1 high. And then I said 36 by 62.5 was the type. So I've got one that's a little different in there. So I'm going to right click duplicate. I'm going to call that 36 by 62.5 masonry opening. A little bit of review from assignment D now. 36 by 62. And remember, when you make a new one, make sure that you make its properties match its new name. Because Revit doesn't just assume because you called it 36 that it's really going to be 36 in width. So the width needs to be 3 foot 0 3/8. Height needs to be 5 foot 2.5. So it was already 62.25. So there wasn't much of a change in height. So I've got that changed in the type properties of this new type here. So I'm going to just drag it out on the screen. And I can set the head height here, which is 6'9.5", 6'9.5". So now when I place that window, making sure I hover over the exterior face of the wall when I place it, it should come in with the right head height and sill height. Looks like it did. And I don't need that window tag, and again I forgot to, once I got in the window command, I forgot to unpush the tag on placement button. And I wanted to mention DI from the center of the window to the face of the wall, and that should be 7'4". So I select the window, 7'4", enter, and then I'm just going to run it through like stabbing somebody with a sword. And then I'm just going to mirror that so that I have the one on the other side. Mirror is mirror pick axis here. So now if I go back to my south elevation on my 3D, I can see those windows. Because the deal is, in assignment F tonight, we're going to cut an opening in this wall. So it's kind of nice to see that you've got an upper half of the wall that has a window in it. And we're not destroying the whole wall, we're just demolishing a chunk of it. And that's where I'll get into the fact that when you demolish part of something, you can't just go out there with your sledgehammer and say, okay, I'm going to start knocking a hole in it. You have to actually slice it up into pieces and then say I'm demolishing that piece in the middle. So let's go ahead and go back to the start of the new handout now. So, you know, I said that assignment E, extra credit stair, was optional, but we are going to learn an easy, simple stair which is required. And that stair is the metal stair on the back of the building. So the first thing in assignment F is to build this little stair, because we're going to turn right around and demolish this stair after we build it as part of our new work. So the goal is to take this existing house that we've built, and we're going to tear some holes in the back of it, demolish this little stair on the back, close off the opening where that door was to the old kitchen. So if I go to the work level 1 existing plan, this notch will be gone, this door will be gone. We're going to square that off, demolish the stair we're about to put in that'll get you up to that door. If you remember, when we built that, it probably looked kind of funny to you that we had a door up there and the back of the building was just floating in the breeze. The grade level is actually down at that door out of the basement. So we're going to build the stair and then demolish it. Get back to my plan and close hidden here. And then we're going to add on to this back. So it's the north side of the house, the eastern portion gets an addition, a one-story addition. So we're going to come back, not tonight, but afterwards, and put in a foundation wall. And we're going to put on a roof tonight, so it'll be a one-story addition with a floor, 3 walls, and a roof, and windows and doors in the addition. So we're going to be using what we've done in assignment D, and then we're going to come back and put in the foundation and footings when we get to assignment J, which is where we put our floor plans on the sheets and we get ready to start printing the drawing sheets. So I think what I'm going to do here is just go ahead and stop this recording, so this is kind of the lead up. And I'll save that as session, this is session 6, I guess, assignment. Yeah.